You are desired. The gaze lingers, the conversation flows, the promise hangs in the air. But when it's time to choose, something locks. Silence arrives, and you feel it again. You ask yourself what was missing. You replay words, you replay gestures, you replay yourself, because desire is there, but staying is not. Presence exists, but commitment never does. You start believing this is your place, to be the pause, never the destination, never the decision. And the question that hurts isn't about them, it's about you. Why are you desired, but never chosen? You are not overreacting. You are not too sensitive. You are not asking for too much. What you feel is real. It repeats itself. It is consistent. And that's why it hurts, because it makes sense. This pain didn't start now. It comes from far back, from when loving meant adapting, from when being yourself felt dangerous. You learned early. You learned in silence. You learned by watching. You learned by surviving. According to Carl Jung, when the soul doesn't feel safe, it creates a persona, an adjusted version, more accepted, less whole. You shape yourself. You anticipate. You offer yourself first, to avoid loss. Not because you are weak, but because you were smart, because you found a way to endure, even without receiving everything. You read the room, you sensed the threat, and you chose to adapt. It was that or deeper pain. So you become pleasing, present, attentive, available. You listen more than you speak. You give more than you ask. You offer before receiving. You love before being chosen. That awakens desire, because you are comforting. You are deep. You are rare. But it doesn't awaken commitment, because you don't take a stand. You offer yourself. You don't hold your ground. The other feels comfort, feels connection, feels intensity, but doesn't feel boundaries, doesn't feel the risk of loss, doesn't feel consequence. And where there is no risk, there is no choice. And without noticing, you repeat. The face changes, the story changes, the setting changes, but the role stays the same. The one who stays, the one who waits, the one who disappears inside. Here comes the quiet relief. This has a name. This has logic. This has a root. You are not broken. You were conditioned. You protected yourself. And now you begin to see. And when you see, something inside you goes quiet. Not from fear, but from recognition. The heart understands. The soul exhales. And silence changes its place. You don't choose these stories by accident. They seem different, but they feel the same. Something in them pulls you, even when it hurts, even when it warns you, even when it repeats. You step in. There is always someone emotionally distant, someone confused, someone wounded, someone who can't stay. And you feel the urge to understand, to help, to hold. You call it love, connection, intensity. But deep down, it's familiarity. Your body recognizes it, your soul remembers, and you confuse comfort with destiny. According to Carl Jung, the unconscious seeks integration. It tries to heal the past by recreating the scene. With new characters, you return to the same place, not by conscious choice, but by hope that this time will be different. So you give more, try harder, explain more, wait longer. You believe that if you love better, this time you'll be chosen. This time they'll stay. This time the ending will change. But the pattern doesn't want a happy ending. It wants to be seen, to be recognized, to be interrupted. Until that happens, it repeats itself with new promises and the same silence. You ignore clear signs, soft red flags, hidden absences, small inconsistencies, because facing them hurts more than waiting, more than adapting, more than losing yourself. With each repetition, something grows tired. You feel it in your body, in your chest, in your short breath, in constant anxiety, in the feeling of being alone, even accompanied, even desired. And slowly, loneliness becomes a pattern, not because you're alone, but because you're not whole. You split yourself. One part gives, another waits, another goes quiet, another disappears. Here comes the silent turning point. You realize, this didn't start now. It's not about them. It never was. It's about an old wound, asking for attention and asking to end. And when this reaches consciousness, something breaks inside. Not you. The cycle. The spell fades. The illusion trembles. and the heart understands. If this touched something inside you, don't ignore it. This channel exists for women who are tired of repeating pain without understanding why. Here, you won't get empty advice. You'll get clarity, awareness, and direction. Subscribing isn't about videos. It's about not walking alone while you learn how to choose yourself. You start to feel tired, not of loving, but of explaining yourself, of waiting for signs, of reading silence, of holding relationships alone. The body feels it first. The soul confirms later. The exhaustion isn't physical. It's emotional. It's waking up already tired, smiling without presence, replying to messages without desire, being with someone, and still feeling alone, deeply alone. The emptiness grows slowly, between one hope and another, between vague promises, between plans that never happen. You try to fill it with more giving, with more patience, with less of yourself. And then self-abandonment begins. You ignore boundaries, swallow discomfort, silence your needs, all to avoid loss, all to maintain, all to be chosen, even if only in crumbs. The feeling of not belonging settles in. You don't know where you fit, or who you are there, or what you're allowed to ask for. You adapt to the other's space, lower your voice, adjust your essence, and slowly disappear. Over time, loneliness becomes identity. This is just how I am, you think. I feel too much. I expect too much. But it's not personality. It's an active wound, a silent repetition, a normalized pain. Then you try the false solution, loving more, giving more, understanding everything. You believe effort fixes it, that sacrifice saves, that patience changes people. But it doesn't. Other times, you do the opposite. You close off, harden, pull away, build fast walls, promise not to feel, promise not to need, but it hurts the same. None of this works. Not overgiving, not overprotecting, because the problem isn't the other, or love itself. It's the place you occupy, the absence of yourself, the empty center. And when you realize this, the pain doesn't vanish, but it becomes illuminated. The weight gets a name, the confusion softens, and something inside understands. This isn't punishment, it's a calling. Healing doesn't start with the other, it starts with you. And it doesn't require extreme strength. It requires presence, small conscious choices, consistency, truth. Even when you shake, the first action is to stop anticipating, stop over-explaining, stop offering before being asked. You observe, you feel, you wait for the other's response, and allow them to reveal themselves without interference. This is not coldness, it's emotional regulation. It's leaving autopilot. It's giving the body time to sense safety, to feel coherence, to notice real presence or its absence. When you stop filling silences, something shifts. The bond slows down, anxiety decreases, clarity increases. You stop creating stories and start seeing facts. What is there and what never was? The second action is early positioning, not with demands, but with truth. You name boundaries. Express needs. Say what you expect, without asking permission, without fear. This scares those who want comfort only, but draws closer those who want to build, because commitment begins there, in clarity, reciprocity, emotional responsibility, and you stop accepting less, even while desiring deeply. At first, it hurts, because you lose illusions, vague promises, shallow attention, but you gain something rarer. Inner respect, coherence, ground beneath your feet. Gradually, the body learns. No need to rush, no need to prove, no need to save anyone. You breathe better, sleep better, feel less urgency, feel more peace. You begin to notice something new. Being chosen doesn't come from effort, it comes from alignment, and alignment starts within. When you choose yourself before being desired, before offering yourself, before disappearing. And when this integrates, something adjusts in the silence. The heart slows down, anxiety retreats. You still want to love, but you no longer abandon yourself. Waiting changes its place. Hey, if you got distracted, come back here now. Breathe. That's the most important part. Up to now, you understood the pattern. You saw the wound. You recognized the cycle. But something was still missing, because understanding is not enough. The soul wants meaning, direction, rest. This is where God enters, not as a magic fix, not as an easy answer, but as faithful presence. He doesn't rush you. He doesn't accuse you. He doesn't abandon you. He stays. You thought God was silent, but maybe he was protecting you, pulling you away from what couldn't stay, saving you from deeper self-abandonment. Because not every no is rejection. Some are rescue, some are care, some are love in disguise. Scripture says something simple and deeply restoring. A virtuous woman who can find? Her worth is far above rubies. Worth doesn't beg, doesn't prove itself, doesn't negotiate. It is recognized. And God also says, I have called you by name, not for usefulness, not for convenience, but for identity. Before any human choice, you were already chosen, and that changes everything. So loneliness takes on a new meaning. It was not divine abandonment. It was a space for rebuilding, a sacred pause, where God calls you back, inward, to the center, to yourself. You were trying to be chosen, but God invites you to choose yourself, with Him, before Him, without hurry, without bargaining, without fear, without crumbs. When you accept this, something aligns. Love stops being scarcity. Desire stops ruling. Anxiety loses its voice. You still feel longing, but you don't disappear. You wait, with dignity. Faith doesn't erase pain, but it organizes it, gives it shape, gives it purpose. You understand. This wasn't delay. It was preparation. It was care. And in this new silence, God doesn't ask for effort. He asks for surrender, not perfection, presence. And for the first time, you stop begging for love. You rest in it. You don't wake up suddenly changed. Transformation is quiet. There are no fireworks, no announcements. There's an inner adjustment, almost invisible, but deep and permanent. You're still sensitive, deep, intense, but now whole. You feel, but you don't disappear. You love, but you don't abandon yourself. Loneliness doesn't vanish completely. It transforms from punishment into space, from fear into fertile silence. You no longer rush. You no longer beg. You no longer overgive. You remain. When someone arrives, you observe, not from distrust, but from self-respect. You feel the rhythm, notice presence, sense coherence, and choose consciously. Not from lack. Being desired is no longer enough, because you know yourself, you know your worth, what you give, and what you expect. Now, choice goes both ways. Presence is required. Love is a decision. You understand something essential. Those who don't choose you don't lose you. They reveal themselves, their limits, their unavailability, what was never yours, and that frees you. God didn't take something from you. He took you out of something. Cycles that diminished you, stories that cost too much, roles that weren't yours. He called you back to truth, to center. You didn't lose love. You gained awareness. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It wasn't delay. It was preparation. Now you see. Now you know. Your heart still desires, but it no longer begs. It waits, with faith, with boundaries, with dignity, because now it knows who you are. And when love comes, it won't confuse you, won't disappear, won't diminish you. It will recognize you, because you already recognized yourself. And this is the end of the cycle. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to our channel right now. Here, you are not labeled weak, needy, or too much. You are welcomed, understood, and guided with truth. This space is for those ready to stop repeating pain and start living with awareness and faith. If you made it to the end of this video, comment, I choose myself. This simple act is a spiritual declaration. Scripture says that when you take a stand, God draws near. Peace follows those who walk in truth, and something begins to shift when you declare it.